You just realized that you needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job posts seen on other job sites. Indeed sponsored jobs help you stand out and hire fast. With sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates so you can reach the people that you want faster. And it makes a huge difference. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed sponsored jobs, there's no monthly subscriptions, no long-term contracts, and you only pay for results. How fast is Indeed? Well, in the minute I've been talking to you, 23 hires were made on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/BWN. Just go to Indeed.com/BWN right now and support our show by saying that you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/BWN. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Hello, Mavs fans. Welcome to Pod Maverick. This is Kirk Henderson. I'm joined by Josh Bowe. We are here 90% of games together, and the Dallas Mavericks just lost to the Milwaukee Bucks at home, 132-117. Josh, how you doing?
Doing okay, because I did not watch a second of this basketball game, which makes me better off than most Mavericks fans, right? Judging by how this game went.
I mean, look. The Mavs are tiny. They have 1,000 injuries working against them. They have some roster injury problems paired with some back-end roster problems that were caused by the Luka Doncic trade that aren't going to be alleviated anytime soon. And yet, as we watch them play, we know they're going to make the play-in, barring something absolutely catastrophic. And the thing about this team that I have to at least give credit on is they play really hard. Some nights they're not going to be very good. And that's what we ran into tonight. I mean, they scored 36 points in the opening quarter because the Bucks were just messy. The lineup difference in terms of size is so funny. The Bucks started 6'6" Taurean Prince, 7 foot tall Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kyle Kuzma. What is Kyle Kuzma listed at here?
He's
on
like
ESPN?
6'9", right?
6'9". Yeah, 6'9". Brooke Lopez, 7 foot. And then 7'1", according to this. And then Dame Lillard, who's Kyrie's size. They're both wee lads. Against the Mavericks, who, they have PJ Washington who played tonight. We'll talk about him a little bit more later. Moses Brown in his last game for the Mavericks for a while. Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, Max Christie. They're just Lilliputian in comparison. So you're looking at that, and just from that, and this is not to be disrespectful, like the Mavericks battled their asses off. The Bucks should have won this game. And the fact that the Mavericks basically made it a game for about 20 of the 48 minutes was actually quite impressive. Is one of these weird games where, threes were not falling for the Mavericks, threes were not falling for the Bucks for at least a significant portion of the game. Now, the Mavericks ended up shooting a hilariously bad 11 of 40, but it was actually worse than that until Jaden Hardy hit some threes late. The Bucks, shot 13 of 39. In the first quarter, they had so many open looks that just didn't go down. It was like watching a team sort of kind of try to shake off the sleep. And the Mavericks just eventually died, not because of anything they did. They just don't have the group that can stick with this guy,
Yeah, the Bucks aren't bad. I mean, Giannis obviously very good. Like, they had no answer for Giannis, and that was kind of the story of the game, right? I mean, I know I didn't watch, but I did get to listen to the most of the third quarter on the radio. And it seemed like it was like if they didn't double him, he either got fouled or got a really easy paint bucket. And then if they did double him, they got an open three. And it seems like they were kind of lucky that Milwaukee didn't shoot as well as they did, because this could have been way worse, because Giannis was finding open shooters apparently.
Yep.
So yeah, they really, and especially PJ, can't play, or he only played 15 minutes and then re-aggravated that ankle injury. Is that what I heard?
Yep.
So once PJ goes, like without Pete, I mean, they're already up against it without their three centers, and without PJ, it's like, I mean, that's it. They have nothing.
Well, and PJ at one point, he shot 1 for 6 in the first half. Okay. Yep. 2 for 8 for the game. So for those of you who can do math, he is 2 for 17 in his past 2 games. Somebody sent me a comment on Twitter that said he looked like he's concussed. And I don't like to read into situations because I don't know enough about how concussions work. PJ looked terrible. Like like his shots were bad. Do you remember last season how I would always bitch about how his wing shots look like they were drifting left and right?
Yeah.
That was happening again.
Yeah. Well, clearly he was not over that ankle sprain. I don't know. Yeah.
Kid I don't think we even talked about this. Kid commented about it before the Charlotte game and indicated that they're concerned.
Right. So, and then that I didn't see it, but did he roll it again tonight, or did they just shut him down?
I didn't see anything, but this game was
down. Like, he only played 15 minutes, right?
Yeah. This game was not enjoyable to watch.
It's funny because I'm just, again, I'm looking at the box score, so I'm sorry, Mavs fans, that this isn't insightful, but like, it feels like it could have been. I mean, they gave up 132 points, and it's like, it feels like it could have been worse. It could have been worse. I don't even know how the Mavericks got to 117. Like, Jaden Hardy scored more points tonight than he'd scored, like, feels like in the last month.
It was very funny to watch.
Yeah, so he kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, Moses Brown back-to-back, like almost back-to-back 20 and 10 games, and now he's gone, and that's kind of wild.
Well, and look, guys, Josh and I are maybe going to talk for 10 more minutes. There's just not.
Sorry.
No, there's just not a ton to talk about this game. But like, the Mavericks played hard. Kyrie, Kyrie struggles against lots of size. That is what it is. He still absolutely battled his ass off. Moses Brown played real hard, but they were outscored by a point, basically. 18, he was, the Mavericks just got worked all night long. Every single Maverick, the fact that Jaden Hardy was the only Maverick in Hardy and Omax were both finished in the plus, as did Klay Thompson. Just an ugly game. And if you followed our show for years and years, I tend to like lose my mind at certain points. There's just nothing.
Right.
There's nothing to be had here. And I think that we can kind of pivot to talking about things around the game. And I want to bring this up.
Sure. I was going to say, it feels like, cause I actually talked to someone, where I was at a wedding reception tonight, and then I talked to someone who I hadn't talked to, since the Luka trade.
Isn't that fun?
And he was like, it's the same sentiment that we've discussed, where people just, it's like, they're just not as interested in the team. And I was thinking about that, and then I'm looking at the game, and I'm listening on the radio and how this game's going, and there was like kind of an energy after the Luka trade. And I know people are going to be bad that I'm even bringing up the Luka trade, but whatever. There was kind of like an energy, like everyone was so angry. I almost felt like that carried people through some of the first few games, and then credit to the Mavericks, what they won 4 out of 5, I think, right after the trade, or something close to that. So the combination of fans being like really raw and emotional, and the team still playing, I think, kind of let people still have some interest because there was still some emotion. Tonight, it almost felt like the air got let out of the balloon. Like, it's been however long it's been, the trade is over, and there's no more to learn about it. It's starting to feel like people are kind of turning the other page, and that emotion isn't there. And now I could be speaking out of turn. I'm not trying to speak for an entire region's soul here, trying to describe it, but it feels like they're kind of running out of steam. Like, the team is running out of steam with the injuries and fan interest. Like, it feels like people are like, they're not as angry as they were. And so now that they're not angry, they're like, all right, now I just kind of don't care. But I could be wrong, but that's just kind of how it felt looking at this game.
Sure.
The way it went. I don't know.
Sure. Well, and commenter in the YouTube says, no way. He says, is this the first day without a smear piece? That makes me laugh. It wasn't exactly today was the first day that I can remember out of the last 3 weeks where there wasn't some like Luka adjacent news. So that were like pertinent to the Mavericks, where it's even in the Wolves game, which when the Lakers played the Wolves, which had nothing to do with the Mavericks, there were still Mavericks news. It was really cool. Just a real neat thing that happened there. Yeah. Anyway, so pivoting to kind of the stuff around this game, during the game, I don't know if you saw this. Chris Haynes broke the news, and I'm putting news in air quotes because it's like, who cares? I at least think it's worth mentioning that the Mavericks intend to sign Kai Jones, former University of Texas center who played 60-ish games with the Hornets, then proceeded to lose his mind on social media and followed up by asking for a trade. They responded by cutting him. And guys, I will just put it to you like this. NBA teams never, ever cut first round picks. They will play that string out because it's an affordable piece. They said, fuck it, and sent him packing. Nobody picked him up. He played some games with the Philly G League affiliate. The Clippers signed him. He's been a two-way guy for them. Then they must have put him on waivers, which I didn't see. And the Mavericks have picked him up, I would guess, for Kyler Kelly, because apparently Kyler Kelly was pregame warmups and then had street clothes on for the game.
Oh, okay.
Which is pretty brutal.
I mean, that's the only way they could sign Jones, right? Because they can't do any more veteran minimum 10 days stuff.
And this is where I'm talking a little bit out of my comfort zone, because guys, I don't watch the Mavericks to be an accountant. I rely on our good friend CBA Mavs to be the accountant for me. I don't understand some of this stuff. The whole point of having a very good basketball team, like prior to the Luka Doncic trade, was that I didn't have to care about this stuff. I knew that the Mavericks were close to the first apron. Honestly, guys, I don't know what the fuck that means, and I don't want to know. I don't care. I deal with spreadsheets in my job. I don't need it for my fandom. Because the Mavericks only have an open 15-man roster spot, they are not allowed any hardship exceptions because they could theoretically sign someone into that spot. But they can't, because that spot would then put them over the first apron, which is bad. It triggers some stuff. I don't know what. So they can sign someone again for a 10-day, but they can't do it till like April 8th or something like that.
Because they've only got like 7 days. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Worth of contractual money available to them before they hit that. Right. So bringing that back around to Kai Jones, they are going to have bodies. Right now, they even said this in the pregame. Kessler Edwards did not suit up tonight because they are having to think about how many days he has left.
Right, because two-way guys can only play a maximum amount They can't play a full
There's a
season. They're
certain number
two-way.
of games. They've changed it over and over. I'm not up to date on this shit because when you have a top 4 player, top 3 player, you don't fucking have to.
I know.
But here we are. Here we are.
Yeah, it looks like Kai Jones didn't do much with the Clippers, averaged about less than 8 minutes a game, 2 points. I mean, very athletic, very talented player. I don't remember. I know he had it, he's obviously had some episodes. I don't know if he's actually a bad, like, I'll be honest, I don't know if he's out of the, you might be able to educate me more. Did he leave the league more because it seemed like he was having some issues personally, or did he commit a crime?
Oh, he was behaving so erratically that it was like, uh-oh.
Okay. I couldn't remember if he was that or if he gotten arrested or something like that, which is unfortunate to think. But yeah, I mean, he was, before he had fallen out with Charlotte, he was an intriguing player. Pretty sure he had some good games against the Mavericks in the season that they had the season from hell when they lost those 2 Hornets games in 2023. I think Kai Jones had some good moments in those games. But yeah, I have not much else to say past that.
No, and he's got a lot of bounce. I know Shaka Smart, when he was at Texas, really liked him. He was not a particularly impactful player, but also neither was Smart's tenure in Texas, so it's kind of hard to judge that sort of thing. He's wildly athletic. He's played very little NBA basketball.
Yeah, 95 total games so far. So 8.5 minutes per game for his career. Yeah, he didn't even play that much in Charlotte. Like he was an end of the bench guy for them for the most part. Like he was never really part of the rotation. But yeah, I mean, they'll try to find him for lobs. He's gonna have to play.
Yes.
They had to play Moses Brown, so I mean, he's gonna play, I guess. Like
I think that's right. So I think that's right.
We'll see. And especially if PJ is hurt and if whatever, because the radio call made it sound like they were shutting him, like something had happened. Like it didn't sound like they just stopped playing him because the game got away and they're like, oh, we're not putting our starters back in. Like the radio broadcast tonight for the Mavericks was like, looks like they're shutting down PJ. I mean, look, hopefully he didn't react. Like it sounded like, it was that kind of thing why he only played. So if PJ can't play, I mean, this guy, Kai Jones, is definitely, he's going to see minutes pretty soon, I would think. We'll see, but I think he's going to have to play a little bit. But
there is some kind of positive news. Caleb Martin is kid indicated, and kid's a little bit of a negative Nancy when it comes to injury updates, which I think is actually a good thing. It's important to set expectations.
Yeah.
He thinks Caleb Martin is going to play next week. So that's something.
That sounds about right from the time, I think, because when they traded for him, they said he was about 2 weeks away, and it's been about 2 weeks.
Yeah,
a little over 2 weeks. So, boy, they need that. They need that for sure. They need anyone. So, but specifically, 6'6" player that can make threes. I know he wasn't playing super well Philly, but
my friend Spike Eskin, who is a 76ers, actually is like a Philadelphia media member, described Caleb Martin's shot as horrifying. So that's fun.
Oh, okay. Like his form, visually,
the visual, oh, that's never going to go in kind of thing.
Yeah, but is he got a little that?
So we have a very good question here from the chat. Hardy Woodaway asks, how can they not sign Moses, but they can sign Kai Jones? It is a different contract type, is the answer.
Moses was a 10-day, whatever, veteran, and Moses couldn't be signed to a two-way because he'd been in the league too long.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've been in the league for 4 years, you're ineligible for two ways.
Yep.
They couldn't do him to another 10-day because of their cap situation, but you can always have two ways. Two ways I don't think two-way contracts mess up with your cap. Like that's always locked in. So they're just going to let Kyler Kelly go and they're going to slot Kai Jones into the two-way. But I don't know how. I don't know. Yeah. And I don't know how much time Kai has left to play in the NBA.
He's played 28 games with the Clippers. So with the number of games the Mavericks have left,
he should be able to play.
He should be fine.
Yeah, should be fine. So
I mean, this is just so stupid.
Yeah, March, I guess. Yeah, it just feels like we're in a holding pattern, right? Till March 6th, which is the
right. And for those of you who may not have listened, I'm just going to keep reiterating this. If you think the Mavericks can fall out of the playoff race, i.e., fall out of the 10th, go be 11 through 15, go look at who is beneath them, then go look at what those teams' schedules are. The Suns' schedule is so mean.
It really is.
It
like they're struggling already, and now now they're gonna this march from hell.
Like LeBron was bitching about the Lakers' schedule, and it's like, motherfucker, do you not understand the reason your schedule is hard against good teams is because you are on television? And the NBA assumed that the Suns would be good, is what happened here. Yeah. Just like the Mavericks stuff has been flexed out a lot repeatedly, because like. You look at the roster when we did this beginning of the year, these two Bucks games, this one today and the one on Wednesday or whenever they play. I don't know what day it is.
Yeah, these would have been prime matchups.
Prime time.
This was a game on prime time, wasn't it? I
think it was one of them.
Out. Yeah, tonight was supposed to be a prime time game.
Yeah. Oh, the chat's talking about this just because it's of note. Did you see Grimes?
Well, what happened to Grimes?
Oh, this is great. Don't look. I'm going to read it to you.
Okay.
The Philadelphia 76ers beat the Golden State Warriors. Okay.
Holy crap.
Okay.
That's no Embiid.
Now, I got to read some stats to you before you understand how wild this is. Tyrese Maxey scored 5 points, 2 of 14.
How many points did Paul George have?
17 points.
Okay. So how did they win, Kirk?
Would you like to know how many points Quentin Grimes scored?
25?
44. At one point, he was 14 of 16 from the floor.
Was it a bunch of threes?
No. Well, yeah, I mean, 6 of 9 from 3, 18 of 24 from the floor.
Oh, that's a lot of two. That's not just him hitting a bunch of open spot up threes. That's him doing some work, man.
Well, and then let me go find the StatMuse thing, because StatMuse posted something, and it's just like, Can we stop? This was incredible. This is great podcasting. I apologize.
I'm guessing it has something to do with Grimes and Luka.
It does.
Okay.
It does. Now where did it go? It was right here. This is the kind of day I've had. Where did this go? Okay. Quentin Grimes and Luka are the only guards in the NBA this season to record a game with over 40 points, over 5 rebounds, over 2 steals, and over 5 threes. The Dallas Mavericks traded them both away.
It's pretty crazy.
I mean, I'm not mad about the Grimes thing. Like the reason that they traded Grimes away is because they didn't want to pay him, because they didn't want to go over that part of the the apron, whatever the shit it's called.
No, if the Mavericks didn't trade Luka, the Grimes move would have been looked at as like okay. I mean, they gave up that second round pick in the deal.
That's the problem, right? That's and frankly, like, we keep talking about this. You and I are in the camp that believes the Mavericks are going to make a move for Kevin Durant this summer, and if that's the case, you have to have
that could have been
other
a nice
pieces
cheap,
in place.
Talent that could have had a shot, because that second round Sixers pick, by the way, is going to be
top 6, top 7.
Yeah, of the second
round. Yeah.
Right. So it'll be like, 35, 36, which is you can get good NBA players in that range.
The Mavericks
guys, have.
You may have heard of this player. The Dallas Mavericks drafted a young man by the name of Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
With a second round pick.
Yeah, Kirk, did you know the Mavericks had, what a 2018 draft for the Mavericks? They drafted 2 All-NBA players in one draft. Wait, Brunson made an All-NBA team, right? Or if not, he's going to make one this year, right? Maybe, I don't know.
He's really good.
Close enough.
I get yelled at for my angry takes, and in hindsight, my Brunson based takes.
He made second team last year, so yeah, they drafted 2 All-NBA players in 1 year. Pretty good. That's pretty good. That should be a good team, right? Should be a contender.
Should be
for a long time too, because they're both young. You get them under contract. That's a that's a duo that could last decades. I would think so. Should be working out for them. Sorry.
And nobody, Nico wanted the flexibility.
I know.
That's why I didn't offer Jalen Brunson the 4 for $55 that Brunson swears he would have signed.
Yeah. Let's get into that. Let's if people don't want us to talk about the Luka trade anymore, so let's relitigate Jalen Brunson.
I mean, really, like the fun conspiracy theory that Nico is an op for Nike sending two of the Mavericks' best talents to the two biggest franchises is a fantastic conspiracy theory.
When the Mavericks fire Nico in 3 years and he lands a top job at Nike, there is going to be there's going to be Senate hearings about how the Mavericks were operated during Nico's regime.
It's so frustrating. Like Jake Kemp of the Dumb Zone, isn't that the name of their show?
Yep.
He's very good at radio. That's why he's able to do this for a living. Much better than me, better than you. Had a 3-minute take on the Mavericks that's just going to live in my skull for the rest of time. Essentially,
it's on their YouTube page too, so if you want to go find it.
And it's essentially where he makes the point that like basketball was always right on the cusp of irrelevancy in the Dallas area because it's a big area. Baseball,
Cowboys town.
Football, Cowboys, high school football, a lot of competing interests.
College football.
Yep. And Dirk and then Luka kept that interest center stage. And now there's nothing.
No. Yeah. And there's a little something right now because eventually Anthony Davis will come back, but that's not going to last for what? That's going to get you maybe 3 more years. And then and then after that, you think it's nothing now. Just wait till Davis and
like, look, and we're
35.
here. We're here, but guys, like, you got to understand, like, from our business perspective, like right now, the number of people in the room, the number of downloads that we have, Luka and Kyrie and superstars, like true blue superstars, bring on an additional fan base.
Yep.
Like now I no longer have slow hoops screaming at me that I'm being mean to Luka, but he watched.
He did watch, or at least he watched clip. Some way.
No, he watched the whole show to find things to scream at me about. It's great content.
We'll take the views,
guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We'll be back Monday night. I am out Wednesday, but we'll be back. Like we're in a pretty regular content schedule for March. So
yeah,
everybody be good.
Have fun.
We'll talk
Enjoy
soon.
your weekend, buddy.
All right. Bye, guys.